think Toyota Tough is actually tougher than 4 Tough. You got a little spot for tissues. That's interesting. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ljs Garage. I am sitting in a 2022 4Runner, and this one's the Trail Edition. And not only does this come with a couple extra goodies, but it also has all the essentials that most 4Runner drivers need. And I will say this, a lot of people love the 4Runner because of the capabilities, the reliability, the ruggedness, the looks, all of those good things. So as always, let's talk specs first. This is a 4-liter V6 that makes about 270 horsepower and about 278 foot-pounds of torque. Believe it or not, in 2022, Toyota is still offering this with a 5-speed automatic transmission. And I know that might sound like a bad thing, but trust me, if you're gonna go off-road and go far into the wilderness, for those of us that do, this is the transmission that's not gonna give you any problems. It's not gonna give you any headaches. It's just gonna get you to there and back, and yeah. And I'll tell you a little bit more about what the Trail has to offer. It's only a few things that differentiate it from an SR5. But speaking of trims, there are a lot of trims all the way from the SR5 to the TRD Pro. And so with that being said, today we're just gonna talk about the Trail and what this has to offer. If you do happen to have any questions though, and you are looking for one of these 4Runners and you happen to be in the Ohio area, be sure to look up Voss Toyota and ask for Morgan. He's very knowledgeable about all these Toyotas, and he knows a lot more about this off-road mechanisms and things like that because he does a lot more of it than I ever will. All my vehicles have always been pavement princesses. I hate to say it. My Jeep, same thing. Both my Jeep, actually. They never saw the wilderness. I just don't do things in the woods. I'm gonna start one day, though. I definitely want to. Just haven't. So if you got anywhere to go check out, I should put on my bucket list, let me know. Some more numbers for you. You're looking at about 16 miles per gallon in the city and about 19 to 20 on the highway. And on top of that, this does tow 5,000 pounds. So that is a major plus if you do have little campers or if you have jet skis or anything like that that you want to tow around, snowmobiles, just little things. It'll be able to do that with ease. I will tell you one thing, if you are on the market and you are willing to drive, Voss Toyota in Beaver Creek, Ohio, they are not doing the whole above MSRP craziness. So if you're looking for somewhere that you could just show up, pay what you pay, and move on with life without having to deal with markups, this is the place to go. I don't really know how crazy the Toyota market is right now, but I can tell you everywhere else it's kind of that game. And yes, I get it, supply and demand, but we don't all need to play into that. Now that we've covered specs and all of that good stuff, let's talk about the outside. The first thing that you're gonna notice is this great cement color. I think it looks super sharp. You got these wheels right here, which are specific just to the Trail. They're nothing crazy, but they do a good job of checking off the off-road box with a little bit of style and pizzazz and all that good stuff. And then in the front, you're gonna have your headlights, your fog lights, your mean aggressive grille, and Toyota badge is all blacked out. But overall, it's mean, it's aggressive. Look at all that ground clearance that you get too. It's tough. I wouldn't say built for tough. It's Toyota Tough, which I think Toyota Tough is actually tougher than 4 Tough. But anyways, she's sharp. This is a good looking SUV, and I've been after one of these for the longest while. And every time I go near one of these, I want to trade in my Grand Cherokee and leave the Jeep life behind for one of these. But unfortunately, the market is just crazy, and I just don't have all that coin. But one day LJ will be on board. Here's the look at the back, very, very nice. You got your little exhaust pipe under there, tow hitch, and on top of that, you got your Yakima roof rack, which is pretty nice. Very nice thing to have. What is there to hate about this? This is just cool. It's cool in every way. Every way. But one thing that isn't cool, unfortunately, is if you want to go ahead and you open your trunk, it does have hydraulics, and bam. But the only thing is, this is not power, and unfortunately, that's not an option. So you got to grab your little strap here and get to work, which it is kind of heavy. And I'm sure right now you're noticing a few things, so let's talk about these few things. The first thing is this guy right here. This comes with the Trail. You got a little cooler. That's pretty nice. You can put stuffs in there. You got your little cover. So, yeah. So you got your little cover. There you go. So you got to line that up. And now you can cover all your stuff so the bears can't look in here and see all the yummy food that you're storing. Something else that's pretty cool is this thing right here. Pulls right out, and now you have a little platform for stuff. Those of you that camp and do all that, let me know what this is for. It says this holds 440 pounds, so this is pretty cool, and it just locks right in place. So you have that. Cool. And just like that, that's everything that you got back here. Actually, before we move forward, you do get your regular house outlet right there, so you can make toast on the go. You got your little 12 volt right there, a little bit of storage cubbies, more storage cubbies, and that is everything. So let's hop inside. And in we go. Sitting back here, I've got this seat set for me. I'm 5'9", so I got plenty of room between the legs and the knees and all that. But headroom, easy, and plenty of space. Down here you got some vents. You got little charge ports down here. We can go ahead and pop those open so you can see you got little USB ports. You got a place for maps, and that's it. Cloth seats, pretty nice. And then if you're curious, yes, you can pop this down and you got cup holders right there. Nice, pretty cool. I like it. And that's what everything looks like from up front. Solid. Believe it or not, this is gonna be your key that you get. If you've been around the Toyota market for a while, you've seen this key forever. So there you go. Lock and unlock. You're gonna get your rugged floor mats, easy to just spray off. And then on top of that, you got power seats. We'll hop right in. Close this door up so we don't get too much road noise. Cool startup graphics right there. 4Runner. On your steering wheel, you're gonna have your forward collision avoidance, your lane departure warnings, all of that good stuff right there. And then here, if you want to scroll through your menu, this is where these buttons will be. But back to your gauges, they're gonna be half analog with a little digital screen in the middle. And it does have just enough information to be useful. If you're off-roading, you can see you got your steering angles right there. Tire pressures, compass. Your music you can control from there. You can see if your lane departure's on or off, cruise control. You can go into settings, and this is where you can do your pre-collision avoidance, stuff like that. Lane departure, vehicle settings, go into there. And there's only a few things. Tire pressure warning system, nothing too crazy. So looking at this infotainment system here, you'll notice that it's straight to the point. There isn't anything crazy. You do get split screen options right here. You can go into your menu, and there you can do Android Auto, Apple CarPlay from all that. You can go into setup, access more settings, can customize all that you need to. But realistically, there isn't too much to dive into. I'll show you what this reverse camera looks like. Pretty simple, very Toyota. And it's what you find in everything, even all the way to like the Corolla. You got your big knobs right here, which is the only time in my life I'm gonna say that, but this controls your fan speed, and I like this little plastic they put on the side for extra grippage. And then you got your little big button right here. I don't know, look at this. These buttons are the size of like, I don't even know, I have no comparison, but they're big buttons. And look at that, you got your rear defrosters along with your heated side mirrors. Temperature control is gonna be just this little knobby guy right here. Very old school, as expected. There's just something about a simple Toyota that just always still works. You're gonna have cup holders right there. You can remove this for larger cups. You're gonna have your four-wheel drive controls right there, so that's pretty nice. Traditional shifter, 5-speed automatic, same another cup holder. You can remove this if you got large cups, and then that's really it. This right here, if you're curious, let's go ahead and put you guys right there. This controls your rear window. Wow. Center console, bam, bam. Another outlet right there. You got a little spot for tissues. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Tissues and pencil. Cool. Glove box, push this button, bam. And yeah, that's it. Up top, just normal controls. Does it feel like it's a little bit behind times? Every now and then. And to each their own. Some will say that's a great thing. Some will say that's a bad thing. To me, it's not a deal breaker. I absolutely love the 5-speed transmission in this. I will say it is a little sluggish at times, but you're not driving a 4Runner to be driving fast or quick or needing that fast shiftingness. You're really not. At the end of the day, this is all about having 4-wheel drive, good ground clearance, and capability. On top of that, reliability. I don't think anyone has ever made a Toyota video without saying the word reliability. So I'm gonna get it out of the way. I probably already said it like 3 times prior to this, but it's just what it is. But what I do love is just how cool the 4Runner is. I think it's just good looking. It might be a little overstyled for some people, but to me, it's just the right amount of like aggressiveness. And yeah, I do think that the trail is perfect for most people in that you have 4-wheel drive, you don't have locking differentials, but unless you're going somewhere really crazy, you don't really need it. So to spend the extra, I think it's about an $11,000 difference between this and the TRD Pro, doesn't really make a lot of sense for a lot of people. I'm not saying that this is enough for everyone, but for the majority, I think that it is. When it comes to ride quality, it's just fine. This is a lot better than the TRD Pro when it comes to on-road manners, which isn't saying a whole lot because it's not like the TRD Pro is horrible, but this is just that much better because it doesn't have the aggressive off-road suspension. Pro, con, however you look at it. It's crazy to me that blind spot monitoring though isn't a thing on these. You would think that that would be common sense in 2022, but I guess Toyota's like, no, nope, sorry. It's really hard to explain why a 4Runner is so cool to people. Like, it's kind of the same with the Jeep. The Jeep is not aerodynamic, it's not fun, it's not sporty, but yet it's just something cool about a Jeep. And that's kind of the same thing with the 4Runner. You just appreciate what it is. And it is something that's old school feeling, which old school nowadays is like 2012, 2008 even. And it's crazy how far cars have come. And so when you get into the interior on something like this, and it's not all that flashy, it doesn't have a super large screen where everything is buried in there, you kind of start to feel like you're missing out. But then when you look at things, you have exactly what you need. Nothing more. What you have more of is off-road capability. And yes, this isn't a full-fledged, Baja truck or anything like that. But what it is it's something that if you do need to drive off the road or pull someone out of a ditch, you can do that. And then you can get back on the highway, drive home, and it's just a normal SUV after that. And that's just what makes the 4Runner just chill. It's not the best on gas mileage, but it's not the worst either. This transmission's not the best, but it's the most reliable. It's not for quickness, it's not for speed, it's for robustness. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm gonna make it a word. It's all about longevity. Oh, there it is, longevity. And I've been in so many Toyotas, and every single one sounds the same, feels the same, the doors close the same. It's all the same. And that's what makes their brand what it is. You know that Toyota is not gonna disappoint you. And if you get in one of these and you're like, I need more tech, think about this. Do you need more tech, or is it because you're told you need more tech? What more tech do you want? Do you need gesture controls? Probably not. Do you need voice activated commands? There's a little bit on this, but nothing too crazy. I just love the 4Runner. And if you watched any of my other Toyota videos, it's hard to go crazy for Toyota, but at the same time, you can't ever badmouth. You can't say anything wrong. Do I think it's impressive that they've somehow managed to keep a 5-speed in this? Oh, heck yeah. This 4-liter V6 is nice. It's punchy. And this cement color, A1. There's just something about the 4Runner that's special. And it'll always have a little place in my heart and something I've always just wanted to have in my garage. And for those of you that have one and love it, I'm jealous. But the thing is, I like my air ride on my Grand Cherokee. I'm a sucker for comfort. I know 99% of the time that Jeep is going to stay on road. And that's what makes the 4Runner cool too, is because you know that you can kind of do both, and it's all right. It just gets the job done either way. Yeah, I wish I had more to talk about on the 4Runner, but there really isn't anything. It gives you everything it says it's going to give you. Nothing more, nothing less. And to buy something at this day and age and know that you're going to be able to drive this for 300,000 miles, there's something about that you just can't beat. Some people see cars as disposable. They're not going to keep them for that long. But a lot of Toyota drivers, they hold on to their Toyotas. And because of that, brand loyalty, man, I tell you. I don't know. But that's all I got for you guys on the 4Runner. It's simple, to the point. but just enough to still be competitive in 2022. I don't know. There's just so much to like about this. So thank you guys so much for checking out yet another video in Ljs Garage. Be sure to hit that like button, comment button, subscribe button, all of that good stuff, and I will see you on the next one.